Hello guys, how is y'all doing? I hope you're doing fine and I hope you are spending a very nice day or a good night depending on where you are watching us. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching The Standpoint. So today we have a very interesting topic, but before we get there, I have two guests here. I have I always get confused.
Yeah,
this is my right or my left?
That's your left.
It's my left side. So I'm with Hans.
Yes,
how are you?
Great, thanks.
Welcome to The Standpoint.
Always a pleasure.
Second time here.
Maybe 10th time.
I mean, I'm talking about this program specifically.
Yeah, maybe 5th.
This is your second time here.
My second time, thank you very much.
And I'm with another guest on my right side. It's
Irving Mula.
Irving Mula, but
Yes.
I think people know you on another name, right?
Mula.
DJ
Mula.
Oh, okay. Welcome to The Standpoint.
Thank
This is
you
your
so
first
much.
time. I hope you like.
I really love
here.
it.
You love
I'm enjoying it. I think I'll stay here.
That's great. We'll be happy to have you here. So thank you guys for honoring my invite and thank you for coming here. Right? So our today's topic is how to brand yourself, how to market yourself. Is it possible without people judging you that you are bragging? Hans, is it possible to brand yourself?
I think if you're really branding yourself, you have to have those kind of comments. Otherwise, you won't do it.
You can't do without those kind of like without being judged.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't think so.
Anyway, before we started this program, we were talking about something about skills and contacts. You know, that's something we haven't even discussed in another topic. I don't know if you guys remember. So now my question is, do you think for us to brand ourselves or for you to brand yourself, if that's what you want, do you think you need contacts or skills?
It depends on what I do. It depends on what I do and what I'm promoting. If, for example, me and my coach, I'm promoting me, it means I need contacts. But if I'm promoting a product like these glasses, they have to be good enough, and then people will have to really play a part into making it viral and effective, of course.
So what you're saying, you mean like if you're branding yourself like your name, if you're trying to make your name known, you need skills or you need contacts?
I need more of people. I need more of people. For example, if you've seen me with, let's say, Thilo Kehrer, I met him in Gozi. If you've seen me with, I don't know, like someone who's very known, right? So this gives kind of notoriety for other people to say, oh, okay, if he's with Mula, it means he's got something.
So you're trying to say you don't need skills. Don't you think for you to be able to... You have issues with skills anyway. Irving, right?
Yes.
So what's your opinion on that? Do you think we need skills or contacts for us to brand ourselves? Yes.
I think branding, we should maybe define what is branding. Branding is mostly like what do you want people to know about you, you know? So that would speak. So it's mostly like, why do you want to brand yourself? That's the starting point. There are people who say, I want to brand myself because I want to adore, to do what I need to do, you know? So say when you define what's branding for you and why you do want to do it, I think it's easy for you to know like what do you need now to do that. So I would say, I'm more into skill set, and I'm more into, contacts, because you need both. So the skill set to introduce to the contacts, because people always ask you questions like, what are you going to give to us? What are you offering? So that would say that's a skill set. But then, after we went to the circle of people, they have to introduce you to other people.
Yeah,
you see?
That's where you get contacts, right?
Exactly, but also even as you go to another level, other people knowing them and everything, you also need another kind of skill set. For example, how do you communicate? For example, like you can be even with people like, let me say the top of the top, and then you don't even know how to communicate.
Communication.
Yeah, you even have a great vision, you have a good idea, but you don't even know how to sell it. And that's a skill set. So I'll say you need both. There's a balance between the two. Let me use God into this discussion. For 10 years, you'll need them for 10 years, but then you met them before 10 years. But they're still around you. But as you are there, do you have a skill set of maintaining them? To be like, oh, I really love this young man, I really love this young man, I really love this man. And then the day you can offer something to them, you know, then something will happen. So let me give you a simple story. So I met a person, I think people know her. You do, Kitu Ruhara.
I also know her.
You do. So I met her way before, and I was like, oh Jesus, I want to meet this, you know, this woman. And I think it was 2016, 15, that time. So I was like, okay, so I don't want to meet her like that. I was like, I just want to meet the person, me having something to offer. You get what I mean? So interestingly, I met her and I had something to offer. I had a skill set. You know, I think I met you that very time with Bright, Jonathan. So one of my skill sets was to do videos. I helped them with the video. It was good. But then that was only an introduction. But now, like on the long term.
But now, sorry to interrupt, how did you sell it? Like, how did you market that you knew how to do videography and everything? Like, did they know you before, or maybe you're the one who approached them to, you know, sell you?
So a skill set is acquired mostly privately, but it has to be shared publicly. So it has to be into service. Like if I do video and I'm doing it in my room at home, I have to go to Hans and say, Hans, can I serve you? This is the question people don't ever ask, and especially Burundian young people. They feel like if I come and say, can I serve you? You are taking advantage of me. But that's not right, because if I come and serve you, I'm already marketing, I'm saying, hey, this is what I can do to you. And if you see, like, I call it, I'll put you to a place where you can depend on me. People don't even know that. I'm like, can I serve you 3-4 times? And they're like, oh, I cannot go without this man, this young man. And be like, oh, how can I pay you now? That's another talk, but I have first to be of service to Hans and to you. Then be like, oh, I know a person can do. So I was introduced to Katie by a friend who knew my skill, you know.
We played.
Oh, he's even wearing a shirt like Coach Hans. I had not noticed. Oh my goodness. Thank you for marketing yourself. So if maybe you, let's say Coach Hans is someone, you know, maybe someone prominent or anything, and you try to sell yourself to say, you know, I know how to do this, I know how to do that. Here in Burundi, it has that image of, if you are trying to say that yourself, maybe you don't have the enough skills needed. It's like you are belittled. Like it's like if you are trying to say it yourself, that means maybe you don't know how to do that very well. I don't know, why do we have that mentality here in Burundi?
So I really think Burundians, the people that I've met, I'm not thinking about Burundians, I'm thinking the young people I've met who have that mentality, which I used to have. I think there's an issue of identity. You know, not knowing who you are. Because there's credibility, because branding, it's all about credibility. Yeah. If I am here, it's like, I'll try to make sure you trust me. And trust is something that has to grow, you know? So there's trust in hard moments, and there's trust in like, hey, just if I leave my phone here, I would even give a lot of like, trust you guys, I can leave and come back and find my phone here, right? So that's one. You don't even have to say it, but there's already an introduction of like, hey, you can trust us, right? So I think we need to understand that the trust that you want people to give you, you have also to give first to yourself. Do you even trust yourself? So I don't know why it happens, maybe with the historical background we had, but I really think that trusting ourselves is key before we say, oh, because if it's your job, it's your job. If it's your deal, it's your deal. If it's not your deal, it won't be your deal. That's what I think.
Hans, Coach Hans.
Just tell me, Hans. I think that there is a misunderstanding or a misconception of one thing. Branding ourselves, for example, like for what I do, it's most about letting people know what you're able to do and that you're the best at it, you see. And when you are the best, you're the best. Yeah. And when you know what you do, you know what you do, you see. And then at one point you will not need a lot of people to, you know, discuss around it. Yeah, so I think the other problem is people who are worried about what they will say about them. See, that's a serious gap. Like, what will they say about me? what if I go there? Yeah. Yes, if I brand myself a lot, you see, like I've made some, you know, orders of t-shirts like Coach Hans, you see. Now there was another one which was really big. You see, this one is this shirt is like a small thing. Another one was really big, like in front. You'd really see that. And then the people are like, man, what's wrong with you? Like, why do you have to, you know, to make t-shirts like that? I'm like, that's not your problem. That's not your problem. If I don't eat, I don't eat, man. You see, like, yeah. Because you see, waiting for other people's acceptance or acceptation of who you should be or what you should do will not get you anything on the table. You see, so what I think is, yes, there are people who are like, don't talk a lot, but I think we're in a very competitive kind of world.
Yeah.
There are a kid in India who's doing a project which is being implemented in Burundi, who's in India, who never came to Burundi, but because of the way he promoted himself, the way he, you know, showed what he can do, then he's executing something here. So what I think is old people, young people, brands, not brands, companies, startups, they should really be aggressive on marketing themselves. Because it's not always the best product that is out there for distribution in the market. It's not. You see, it is the product that has been marketed a lot. You see, yeah.
So
that's what I think.
Yeah. As you said, that there's a word that been coming in my mind that says like people consume what's available than what's the best. Because when you say like, for example, whatever drinks, I don't want to brand anything here, marketing anything here, not because they are the best, just because they are just available, and availability is access.
Yeah, but now we're talking about quality. So you think maybe availability and quality don't...
No,
not all the time.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
So that's why for me, when you, for example, if you see, let me say, not branding a product, let me say branding yourself, you know, which people don't do in Burundi. When you do that, you like, you're just loud. You're loud. Why do you put everything out? So there are two kind of, so people have to choose why they want to brand. That's the number one key.
Yeah.
Because there are people, let me give a very simple, for me, like I used to be a person who like aggressive on media in these terms. So I would share, I'm just giving a very practical example. I'll share how I woke up in the morning and how I slept in the night, right? Which is like that a public figure type of life. But I was like, stop. What do I want to do this? What do I want people to know about this? Because it's mostly about like introducing people to your world and something they would, after they leave, they'll be like, oh, I know this about this person. But I was like, I don't need to tell them everything about me. Because there are times when I don't want to share about this particular, maybe I'll share it after. But that one, so I'll say, people have to understand that not everyone has a reality TV type of life, like the Kardashians. You can still be influential, you can still be branded in a big way, but still know your content. So one thing that I would say about me and Burundians is how can we learn how to be honest with the content we have? So for example, if you are not good at something, how did you know that you are not good at something? Did you knew it because of the voices inside of your head telling you you cannot do it? The family telling you, you know, you never do something in your life. What are the voices? I call them committee. Is the committee in your head, you know, or is the committee outside? So the committee in your head, we already have something. There's a research that was made. We have like 80% of our thoughts are negative, and 90% of them are repetitive. So imagine if you have like 80% of them that are repetitive negative thoughts about yourself. So basically you never brand yourself. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm just this loser, right? That's why you need Coach Hans. Be like, no, you're not a loser. You can do it, right? I don't think that's what to do. You do more than that, right? But my point is this, is like, how can we learn to handle the committee in our head and another committee? Because that's why we need contacts now.
Sorry to interrupt if you are not yet done. Don't you think telling yourself that you need someone else is maybe lacking some kind of confidence?
Which is good. Lacking is not bad.
Well, if you're trying to push yourself on the market, that's something. Because they always say if you are proving something, if you're selling something, be confident about it. Even though you are at some point maybe wrong somewhere, be confident in what you're saying. Because if you start doubting yourself, you know it will
I know. Show. So let me give you another part of the story that is very interesting. Steve Jobs once said, "Don't ever market what, market why." So people don't buy the product mostly. People buy why is the product. Why can I get this? Because it's all about trust. It's a relational dynamic. So you won't be like, oh, so I'm going to, so I have to be confident. And then what happens, like we have people who have like great marketing. When you go into great branding, when you go into their, let me call it life, there's nothing like, there's no content. You're like, oh my God, you are just a scam. Like there's nothing in you. There's nothing like people can really get from you. Like they will come, you just like a signpost. The hotel is, you know, is 200 meters from here, but there's nothing in you. So I would say, in Burundi, like mostly in Bujumbura, people talk. And people talk from a word of mouth. Like I've been doing events here in Burundi, you find someone having like a big event, I can say this on TV. Big events and there's a great marketing, great branding, people don't come. And there's another event that is doing, like there's no big branding, like billboards and everything, people have to come. And the dynamic is that relationship that happens. Because people, they've come, they've tested, they know, they go and talk about that. So that happens to a level of individuals, that happens to a level of organizations, that happens to a level of brand to brand. So what I would say, how can we have a spot into our life, or into our organization that says, yeah, there's nothing, something is not working well.
I assume that's the most of the mistakes maybe young Burundians make right now.
So there's the confidence, which is not good at all. I think we can agree with that. There's a lack of confidence, which is not good at all.
You see, you're coming back to what I said.
But what I'm saying is like now the confidence doesn't have to come on you. Because you see there's two ways. There's you trusting you, right? About I can do this. But then there's no ground, there's no foundation on that. You can do it via mouth. You're like, I can do this, I can do this. No, yes, you can do that, right? But there's doing, like really doing, handling that. That's what I would say, my confidence for me personally, I don't put my confidence in me. For those who are Christians, say, I trust God who can do this into me.
So you put that confidence in your work?
Into a being that is, not in my work, I cannot even do it, in a being that is bigger than me, that can give me the strength to do what I need to do. Because the dynamic is this one. Even if you go into your work is always, we be compared with someone else and they'll always be low. So if you put your strength into your work, at some point in your life, you'll be like, I cannot do this. This person is bigger than me. Oh, I'm low, right? If you put your so-called confidence in you, in terms of like maybe where you come from, you know, still, it doesn't mean that you are a son of the president, you become the president, or a son of the CEO, you become a CEO. It's about character. So in the character, you find out it has to grow from this point, you lose, you fail, you learn, but that has to come from a point of putting your eyes on someone that is bigger than you. That's where mentorship comes in.
I think it is very important for people to understand that there are steps. There are steps. And those who have been aggressive enough and those who have been really pushing things over have been able to control whatever they could control in the market. Now there are two parts. There's organizational and there's also personal. So as a person, you have to know what you are branding and why you are branding it. And as a company, you have also to know what you're branding and why you're branding it. At one point, if you are consistent, you will get to the end that you're looking for. Otherwise, you will not get it. Someone who's smaller, because today we have the great equalizer. You see, the great equalizer is social media. You see, today, okay, I was making some research for some people recently. Do you know this girl, Magali? Do you know how many followers she has on Instagram?
How many?
10,000. 10,000 followers. What does she do? Not
Nothing.
much. Not much. She's just walking around.
We love you, Magali.
You see, 10,000 followers. Now, when you go check on some people who are doing really interesting things, but who are not consistent and who don't have connection between them and those who are sharing things with them, they have like 500. They have like 500. You see, so now there are ways to understand that. That was maybe personal. You have to really know, like, why am I doing this? What is my result? Because me, I'm a coach who's results oriented. People will not talk about excuses or if you tried. You see, yeah, but they will talk about your results. I came to you, I was suicidal. Now I'm no longer suicidal. Yeah. I'm taking charge of my life. Good. I came to you and I was stuttering, but now I can speak properly on my own rhythm. That's the result. I came to you, I didn't have any map for my life. Now I have a map for my life. That's the result. Organizational as well, they have their own results. You see, we have to make 1 million this month. We have to make 10 million this month. And those results now they talk for themselves. Now there comes a level of brand that now you don't have to introduce yourself.
Yeah, you actually mentioned something. You mentioned social media. Do you think it plays a big role in when you're trying to brand yourself? What about when it wasn't, like, if it wasn't there?
If it wasn't there, there was marketing or branding have really grown. We went from newspapers to billboards to now we're having digital marketing. You see, so now when you are growing that way, it means that you have to grow with them. Do you know how much they pay to make those billboards in town?
Over 1 million.
Sorry?
Over 1 million.
It's 10.
10 million.
Well, which one? Depending on the size, maybe.
Depending on the size, you see, depending on the size. But now, how much is the bundle to get maybe 1 gigabyte?
I don't 1,000 to brand anyone. We don't know.
But we usually even see people who are trying, like, who are selling goods, and they post their goods, the things they're selling consistently, but you won't find them, like, you won't see they have many followers. Maybe there are better ways to market on social media.
Yeah,
on the digital. There's some specific ways to do that.
Yes, there are. There are, because you see, like Instagram was created in 2010, but before that there was also Facebook, and then after that now we're on TikTok, which is branding, liking, whatever. But now the way they build those algorithms, they build them on consistency. You see, they build them on consistency. For example, I'll give something. Okay, I've told her already, but I can just give an example on Dative. If you go check on Dative's Instagram, she has, I think, I don't know what's recent, but she was on like 2,000 followers. You see?
2,000. I think it's more than that.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's just assume she has 2,000 followers.
I think it's 10,000.
Yeah, 10,000.
You see? Now on pictures, there are pictures that had 2,000 likes. You see, which means there is a relationship. Like I went like on 5 or 10 pictures, and most of them were on 800, 1,000, 2,000. It means that there is a connection between the people that follow her and what she does. You see, so now if you want to get more followers and get more likes and engagements with, social media and your product, you have to learn or maybe get someone who knows how it works and then gets to you, and then they will tell you, if you do this, this will be the results. Yeah,
so these days we see so many young people like they're into entrepreneurship because of maybe the rate of unemployment. Yes. But as you said, some of them don't market themselves in a very good way. So what do you think they should do? What are the best ways to brand yourself?
There are 4 ways. There are 4 levels of entrepreneurship. You see, so first time entrepreneurship, they focus on product. Here's my product. My watch is good. I'm making sales, this is good. I'm making a movie, this is good. I'm making this and that. They focus on product. But you see, product is not always the best product that wins. Is the most marketed product or the most available product. You see? Now, second time entrepreneurs, they focus on the third of marketing. The third of marketing. You see? Third time, they focus on something we call value chain. Okay, let's say a restaurant.
Yeah.
If in your restaurant you have a breakfast that has eggs in it, the restaurant does not produce eggs. Am I right? So they get eggs from someone.
Yeah.
So this someone gets them from a packaging company. This packaging company gets it from someone who have, chicken, right? And these chicken are made by someone, which means there's a value chain on that thing. That's why we have companies that we don't even know, but they never close the door because they're making profits, because they have these restaurants that they're selling things to. The fourth step is the ecosystem. It means that you are controlling the whole thing. That's a short example on that is Microsoft, for example. You see, like Microsoft, they have a system. Android, it's a system. It means if I'm creating a phone, if I want people to use it, I'll put in Microsoft, I'll put in Android. It means I'm controlling the whole ecosystem of the product. So if you are someone who's having a product that you want to put on the market, you have to really focus first on distribution, you see, and then focus also on branding it properly.
So I think we need to ask our question. The question is like, why are you in entrepreneurship? Are you in for money and you won't last for 5 years? You won't do that. You won't last for 5 years because businesses which are based on money, earning, they're interesting because money is a currency. It goes up, it goes down. Okay, yeah. And then you lack even confidence. You say like, I wanted money, but I'm not seeing money. Someone said a business has to go until 5 years to know that it can be profitable. But I've seen people for 1 year, they're like, I'm done with that business.
Yeah.
The first year.
That's why they say not everyone can do entrepreneurship. Not everyone is an entrepreneur.
So I would assume we need to ask the right questions before we say what. Before it should be like, why are you doing that? Because let me say you're going to sell eggs. That's what you want to sell. Like I want to say eggs. So people, because there's something that he mentioned about the algorithm. I love machines, but I know how to break the machines. So with algorithms, what is happening is this one. People tend to go on TikTok and Instagram to compete there, and they forget the on-ground. So there are 3 levels. There's on air. We are on air right now. There's online and on-ground. So there's 3 areas. So for me, I can give these tips to everyone who's listening. Always break it on-ground. The on-ground will take care of the on-air and online. Because people who are online and on air are on ground. So now when it comes to even the part of branding themselves in terms of entrepreneurship, I would say, what is the story? Why are you doing that? What is the story behind that? Because I don't ever sell.
What are your motives?
Exactly. I'll be like, I'm selling eggs. Why? Let me show you what people do. I always love Steve Jobs. It will be like the branding, the marketing strategy this year won't be about the products. It will be about what the phone can do. It's greatness. You want to be great? It's about greatness. So they'll sell values. They'll sell about greatness. They'll sell about life. So that's the thing people want to buy, because they can still get the same thing from another person, and that's why when people buy from people they know. Because they know they're not only getting a product, they're also buying from a person. They're not buying from a machine. You get what I mean? They're buying from a person and they're getting value from them. So I will say, know why you're doing that and write down the story, because every single thing you go through, every single story that have come, that have pushed you to be there, that is your marketing, so that is your branding strategy.
Guys, I'm gonna thank you for coming here and for sharing with us all your ideas. It was great. Thank you, Hans.
Welcome.
Thank you, Irving.
Thank you.
And I hope if we call you next time, you'll be able to.
I will be. I'm enjoying this.
Really? Thank you. That's a great pleasure. So thank you for all of you guys who are watching us. So stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.